Hi everyone, my name is Ashley DeLuca. I am 19 years old and a sophomore at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago, I graduated from Hong Kong International School and decided to take the road less traveled by American students. I took a gap year to do international service work in West Africa and Ecuador. My inspiration to do international service work came from my experience in Cambodia, Mongolia, and India, which were all trips through HKIS. Mongolia and India in particular really moved me to do more and to help more. Before moving to Hong Kong, I had never done service work before, so these were brand new experiences to me, and I loved it. I loved looking at people's smiling faces and knowing that I had helped to put those smiles there. In Mongolia, we built houses with Habitat for Humanity. We were just teenagers with no experience in building anything. We just had a willingness to help out because we could, and because those people needed help. And that willingness to help was the reason why those families were smiling with tears in their eyes as we left that day. Unfortunately, I was never able to stay for prolonged periods of time on these trips because they were school trips. I knew, though, that if I took a gap year, I could do volunteer work for as long as I wanted. I still don't fully know why I chose Africa, but I will admit that I think it partially had to do with my adoration of the movie Lion King. Going to Africa and Ecuador changed my life. I remember everyone from the village still, but especially my students. Those children truly amazed me. They had such hardship thrust upon them at such a young age, but they were expected to act as little adults to help support their families. And yet they were still able to laugh freely and act like children and find happiness in the little things in life. I strived to make my classes one of those little things that they enjoyed, and it evolved into something so much bigger. I started the Starling Sponsorship Program for these students so that they could continue their education until they finished high school. This would give them a better chance of having a better life because many people do not finish high school in Macumbaya or the Gambia because of the lack of money. Now that I consider it, the program could be seen as a tangible way of showing how much my students and their families affected me. It was my way of giving back to them. They had shown me a whole other way of living life, one without computers and cell phones, iPods, Facebooks, emails, and even things essentially known in our lives like electricity, plumbing for showers, sinks, and toilets. And even without all of these things, they were still happy, completely so. And so I learned to do the same. I want to leave you with one thought. There is nothing that sets me apart from you. I am not trained to be some super international service volunteer, and I did not get bitten by a radioactive spider that made me want to save the world. I'm a teenager who still fights with my younger brother and gets overstressed by homework and sometimes dreads going to class. It's those same similarities that we share that makes me able to help people that I did. I have a working body and mind, and I used it to help those who needed it because I could. That is truly all you need to make a difference in a person's life, and I promise you neither you or the people whose lives you touch will ever forget it. Thank you.